5 celebrities whose careers exploded after coming out gay in 2025. For decades, the math was simple. Come out, lose opportunities. Studios get nervous, sponsors drop you, audiences reject you. Your career doesn't die immediately. It just quietly shrinks until you're booking smaller roles, lower budgets, fewer opportunities. Everyone knows someone who came out and disappeared. But 2025 broke the formula. 5 celebrities came out and their careers didn't just survive, they exploded bigger roles, better contracts, more visibility, more money. Not despite coming out, but because of it. Because the market shifted. Because authenticity became valuable. Because Gen Z and millennials reward honesty with attention, and attention converts to money. These aren't stories about surviving coming out, they're stories about thriving because of it. This is what happens when the business case for authenticity beats the business case for hiding. Cooper Koch, from Netflix actor to Calvin Klein face in 6 months, September 2024. Cooper Koch is on Netflix's Monsters doing solid work, but not yet a household name, March 2025. He's the face of Calvin Klein's global campaign, plastered across Times Square, impossible to avoid. What happened between? Koch leaned into authenticity instead of hiding from it. Koch never closeted. He'd been out among friends and industry people. But he didn't advertise it either. Standard strategy, don't hide if asked, but don't volunteer. After Monsters makes him visible, his team faces a choice. Play ambiguous, let people assume he's straight because he played a straight character convincingly, or lean in, be openly gay and bet that authenticity is more valuable than mystery. Koch chooses authenticity. Posts his boyfriend Mitch casually on Instagram. Discusses being gay in interviews without making it his entire identity. Just exists as openly gay while doing his work. And the market responds. Calvin Klein notices that Koch's social engagement rates are unusually high. Their market research team digs in and finds Koch's authenticity makes him relatable to LGBTQ+ consumers, and $917 billion market largely untapped by men's underwear brands, while not alienating straight consumers who increasingly value brands that support diversity. Koch isn't a risk, he's an opportunity. March 2025, Calvin Klein signs Koch as their newest face. Not for a pride campaign, for their main line. The campaign launches globally, and sales data tells the story. Products featured in Koch's campaign outsell comparable campaigns by 35%. Post-campaign analysis reveals why Gen Z consumers, who drive fashion trends, share Koch's campaign images at 3 times the rate of previous campaigns' free marketing through authentic representation. But here's what really explodes Koch's career. The cycle compounds. Calvin Klein campaign makes him inescapable. Other brands notice the sales data. Koch gets offered 5 more major brand deals in 2 months. His rate per endorsement triples. Suddenly, he's not just an actor, he's a marketable personality. By summer 2025, Koch is booking acting roles he wouldn't have been considered for without the Calvin Klein visibility, a rom-com opposite a female lead, where his character's sexuality isn't mentioned. A thriller where he plays a detective, sexuality irrelevant. An action franchise where the studio specifically wants him because he brings authenticity that makes our diverse casting feel genuine, not performative. Koch's agent tells The Hollywood Reporter, Cooper's career trajectory post-coming out has been exponential. Not despite being openly gay, because of it. He became memorable. In a sea of actors trying to be everything to everyone, Cooper just being himself made him stand out. That's worth millions in marketing value. The numbers. Before Calvin Klein, Koch's Instagram had 800,000 followers. After Campaign Plus being openly with Mitch, he has 4.2 million. His per-episode TV rate went from $75,000 to $200,000. His film offers increased 400%, and he's only 28. What Koch proves, Gen Z changed the market. Brands and studios still operating on closeting protects careers assumptions are leaving massive amounts of money on the table. Coke's explosion shows that for actors targeting younger demographics, being openly LGBTQ+ isn't a liability, it's a competitive advantage. The closet doesn't protect careers anymore, it limits them. Pedro Pascal, from character actor to leading man at 50. Before June 2025, Pedro Pascal was successful. 2 major franchises, solid career, respected actor. But he was still seen as character actor despite leading roles. After his Variety coming out cover story in June 2025, everything changed. Within 2 months. Pascal gets offered 3 leading roles he wouldn't have been considered for previously. Not explicitly gay roles, just roles where his sexuality isn't mentioned or relevant. One is a romantic thriller opposite a female lead. The casting director later tells The Hollywood Reporter, "Before, we worried audiences might not buy Pedro as a romantic lead after he came out. His honesty made him more compelling, not less. Authenticity is magnetic." But here's what really changes his career trajectory. The business case studies marketing teams at major studios analyze Pascal's social media engagement post coming out. Discovery: his posts get 40% more engagement after coming out. His Q-score, industry measurement of likability, actually increases, especially among demographic studios care about most, 18 to 49-year-olds with disposable income. September 2025, Pascal signs a production deal with a major studio, not just as actor, but as producer. The deal includes a clause specifically about LGBTQ+ content. Pascal gets to develop and star in projects featuring queer characters, but more importantly, he gets creative control over projects that have nothing to do with sexuality. The studio bets that Pascal's authenticity makes everything he touches more marketable. By November 2025, Pascal's agent tells Variety, Pedro's value increased 60% since coming out. Not because he's a diversity hire, because he's more in demand. Audiences want him. Brands want him. Other actors want to work with him. The coming out didn't limit him. It differentiated him in a crowded market. The financial impact is quantifiable. Before coming out, Pascal's per-project rate was $750,000 to $1 million for franchise work. After coming out, his next contract negotiation lands him $2 million per project plus profit participation. Studios aren't paying more out of charity. They're paying more because his authenticity generates buzz that traditional marketing can't buy. What explodes Pascal's career specifically? He becomes a case study. Every studio executive skeptical about LGBTQ+ representation gets shown the Pascal numbers, engagement rates, likability scores, box office performance, social media impact. The data demolishes the assumption that coming out hurts marketability. Pascal becomes living proof that authenticity isn't just morally right, it's economically smart. By December 2025, Pascal is getting offered roles he would have been considered too risky for a year earlier. A biopic playing a real historical figure, straight, a superhero franchise lead. A romantic drama where his character's sexuality isn't specified. Roles that assume audiences can see him as human, not just the queer actor. One studio executive tells Deadline, anonymously, Pascal changed the calculation before. We worried that openly gay actors would alienate conservative audiences. But Pascal's numbers show that Gen Z and millennial audiences, who have more spending power for the next 40 years, reward authenticity so strongly it offsets any conservative pushback. The business case shifted. Now not casting LGBTQ+ actors feels like leaving money on the table. What Pedro Pascal proves: coming out can make you more valuable, not less. His career at 50 is bigger than it was at 49. More offers, higher pay, better roles, production deals. The industry assumption that closeting protects careers. Pascal's success obliterates it. Now agents can point to the Pascal effect when young LGBTQ+ actors worry about coming out. Look what happened to Pedro. His career exploded. Yours could too. NQTI Gatwa. From unknown to leading one of TV's biggest franchises. When Ncuti Gatwa was cast as the 15th Doctor in Doctor Who in 2022 at 29, he was relatively unknown outside of sex education fans. By July 2025, after coming out as queer before his first episode even aired, he's leading one of television's most iconic franchises, and his career trajectory is stratospheric. What's significant? Gatwa came out before establishing his Doctor. Traditional wisdom says, establish the character first, then come out when it's safe. Gatwa reversed it, came out at Comic-Con 2025, making his queerness part of the Doctor's identity from day one. Risky? Industry thought so. Smart? Data says yes. BBC and Disney Plus internal metrics after Gatwa's coming out. Social engagement increased 85%. Pre-orders for the new season increased 40%. International press coverage tripled. LGBTQ+ media outlets provided millions in free publicity by covering the historic casting extensively. The coming out didn't create controversy that hurt the show. It created buzz that helped it. November 2025, Doctor Who. Season 14 premieres ratings exceed BBC's projections by 30%. Disney Plus international streaming numbers beat their most optimistic forecasts. Post-show surveys reveal why. 60% of new viewers cite Gatwa specifically as reason for watching. His authenticity attracted audiences who'd never watched Doctor Who before. Younger, more diverse, more international. But here's what explodes Gatwa's career beyond Doctor Who. He becomes proof of concept. For decades, studios worried that openly LGBTQ+ actors couldn't carry major franchises. Gatwa carrying Doctor Who, 60-year-old franchise, global audience, family viewing, while being openly queer from day one demolishes that assumption with ratings data. Within 3 months of his season premiere, Gatwa gets offered 3 other major roles, a Marvel project. Studios specifically want him because his Doctor proves he can carry franchises. A rom-com where his character's sexuality isn't specified. Studios trust audiences can see him as romantic lead regardless of his personal sexuality. A prestige drama from a major streaming service who cite his ability to generate cultural conversation as reason for wanting him. Gatwa's per-episode rate for Doctor Who Season 15 increased 150% from Season 14 based on Season 14's success. His film offers go from $300,000 range to $2 million plus range. His agent tells Variety, Ncuti's value skyrocketed because he proved something studios desperately needed proven, that openly LGBTQ+ actors can carry major franchises without alienating audiences. He's not getting cast as diversity hire. He's getting cast because he's now proven to be financially successful. The cultural impact. Gatwa becomes the reference point. Every time a casting director says, "We can't cast an openly gay actor for this franchise role," producers can now respond, "Ncuti Gatwa is leading Doctor Who and it's a massive success. Try again." The excuses evaporate when the data exists. What Ncuti Gatwa proves: coming out before establishing yourself can actually accelerate your career if you're targeting audiences that value authenticity. Gen Z viewers, who will drive entertainment consumption for next 40 years, don't want ambiguity. They want honesty. Gatwa giving them honesty from day one made him their Doctor in ways a closeted actor never could have achieved. The career explosion isn't despite his queerness. It's because his queerness made him the right Doctor for this generation. Dan Howell, from fading YouTuber to leading digital culture conversations, 2019. Dan Howell comes out as queer in a powerful video. His channel is already declining. The YouTube algorithm had shifted. His content felt dated. He'd been semi-retired. Coming out was brave but didn't revive his career. 2025. Dan Hard launches his relationship with Phil Lester. Within months, his career explodes in ways it hadn't since his 2012 to 2015 peak. What changed? The Hard launch hit different than the 2019 coming out. In 2019, Dan said, "I'm queer," but kept Phil private. It felt incomplete. Fans celebrated his honesty but still felt like he was holding back October 2025, when Dan posts 13 years of people asking, "Here's your answer." With him and Phil clearly together, it completes the narrative. And complete narratives are what drive cultural conversation. The post gets 3 million likes. Not special for celebrity standards, but massive for a YouTuber whose previous posts got 200K. More importantly, it gets covered by mainstream media, BBC, CNN, NPR. Traditional outlets that rarely cover YouTubers suddenly writing articles about Dan and Phil because the story, 13 years of soft launching, finally going public, is compelling beyond YouTube. That mainstream attention drives new audiences. People who'd never heard of Dan Howell suddenly know his story. His YouTube subscriber count increases for first time in 5 years, gaining 500,000 in 2 months. His podcast debuts in top 10 on Spotify. Tour announcements sell out in minutes. But here's what really explodes his career: brand deals. For years, Dan was too niche for major brands, too YouTube-y, too online, not mainstream enough. After the hard launch and mainstream coverage, brands reassess. A major streaming service approaches him about developing content. A tech company wants him as ambassador. A fashion brand offers creative partnership. Why? Because Dan's story transcended YouTube and entered cultural conversation. Mainstream relevance equals mainstream money. Dan's income 2024, mostly YouTube ad revenue, slowly declining. Approximately $400,000. Dan's projected income 2026, brand deals, tour, podcast sponsorships, content creation for streaming. Over $2 million. The hard launch didn't just revive his career, it transformed it from declining YouTuber to cross-platform personality. What's particularly notable, Dan and Phil's refusal to make couple content. Most YouTuber couples monetize every aspect: joint channels, proposal videos, relationship milestones. Dan and Phil just confirm they're together, then go back to their regular content. That boundary, being visible without being exploitative, actually makes them more appealing to brands. One marketing executive tells Forbes, Dan and Phil's authentic but boundaried approach to their relationship makes them trustworthy. They're not selling every moment. That restraint is rare and valuable. The cultural impact. Dan becomes the case study for aging YouTubers trying to stay relevant. His strategy, radical authenticity after years of ambiguity, proves that evolving honestly can revive careers that content alone couldn't save. Multiple YouTubers from his era cite Dan's success as inspiration to be more honest in their own content. What Dan Howell proves: sometimes career explosion requires going all in on honesty. Half honesty, coming out but keeping relationships private, generates some response but not momentum. Full honesty, coming out and showing your relationship, creates complete narrative that drives cultural conversation. And cultural conversation, that mainstream attention, opens doors that niche success can't. Jared Newgoose, from runner to Nike's biggest athlete ambassador, October 2025. Jared Newgoose posts a photo with boyfriend Julian. Within 6 months, he goes from Olympic bronze medalist to Nike's most visible athlete ambassador, featured in more campaigns than some Olympic gold medalists. The coming out didn't just not hurt him, it made him Nike's most valuable asset for reaching Gen Z consumers. Here's what Nike's internal data showed. After Newgoose came out, his social engagement rates increased 65%. His post got shared 3 times more than before. Comments shifted from generic "great race" to personal "thank you for making me feel seen." That emotional connection, that's what brands pay millions for and usually can't manufacture. Nike's marketing team runs the numbers. Newgoose reaching LGBTQ+ sports enthusiasts, massive underserved market, plus Newgoose's authenticity making him more relatable to Gen Z, Nike's target demo for next 40 years, plus Newgoose's performance still being elite equals the perfect brand ambassador for evolving market. December 2025. Nike doesn't just renew Newgoose's contract, they triple it. from $500,000 annual endorsement to $1.5 million plus profit participation in products he helps design. But more importantly, Nike makes him the face of their Find Your Fast campaign that runs globally, year-round. Not a pride campaign. Main campaign New Goose in billboards worldwide with Julian visible in several images. The campaign outsells projections by 35%. Nike's analysis. Authenticity drove shares, shares drove awareness, awareness drove sales. New Goose being openly with Julian didn't complicate the campaign. It made it memorable. In market testing, consumers remembered New Goose's campaign 60% better than previous generic athlete campaigns. But here's what explodes New Goose's career beyond Nike. He becomes the model other brands study. Adidas, Under Armour, smaller athletic brands, all analyzing the New Goose effect. Multiple brands realize they've been ignoring LGBTQ+ sports consumers because of outdated assumptions about who buys athletic gear. New Goose proves that demographic is huge, underserved, and loyal to brands that represent them authentically. By early 2026, New Goose has endorsement deals with 6 brands: Nike, sports drink company, recovery tech company, sunglasses, nutrition supplements, athletic wear. His annual endorsement income goes from pre-coming out $200,000 to post-coming out $2.3 million. His agent tells ESPN, Yared's openly dating Julian made him more marketable, not less. Brands want what he has. Authentic connection with consumers, that's worth more than manufactured aspiration. The track impact. New Goose becomes the most financially successful middle-distance runner in U.S. track history. Not because he's the fastest, he's elite but not unbeatable, but because his marketability exceeds his medals. His success shows young LGBTQ+ athletes, you don't have to hide to make money. Authenticity is profitable. What New Goose proves about 2025 sports marketing. The closet was never protecting athletes' earning potential. It was limiting it. By hiding, athletes were cutting themselves off from massive markets that traditional sports marketing ignored. New Goose coming out and making more money forces every agent, every brand, every athlete to reconsider. What if authenticity is actually the most lucrative strategy? 5 celebrities, 5 career explosions. One truth, the market changed, and authenticity became the competitive advantage. From Pedro Pascal's $2 million contracts to Cooper Koch's Calvin Klein empire. From Yared Nuguse tripling his income to Nkuti Gatwa proving franchises need authenticity, to Dan Howell reviving a dying career. 2025 showed that coming out doesn't limit opportunities. Hiding does. The closet was never protecting careers. It was limiting earning potential, cutting off massive markets, and making people forgettable in a space where memorable equals valuable. These 5 didn't just survive coming out, they exploded because Gen Z and millennials reward honesty with attention, and attention converts to money. The question isn't, can you afford to come out? It's, can you afford not to? Subscribe if you believe authenticity is profitable.